Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live, and we are so excited to welcome Precious Gold Manaka, who is a multi-talented entrepreneur, film and television graduate, communications expert, as well as a postgraduate student. She is based in Gauteng, but born in Limpopo. Gold has proven herself to be a true force of nature, steering her company with remarkable success in branding, corporate uniform supply, and promotional gifting across multiple provinces. She is now challenging her experiences into mental health advocacy, encouraging self-awareness, self-acceptance, as well as mental fitness. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, you have such a beautiful first name, so I don't know whether to call you Precious or to call you Gold, but you are absolutely golden, and I really love what you've been able to achieve as a businesswoman. I know that you are going to continue on to inspire so many South African women. But let's talk a little bit more about that journey. Can you tell us more about your journey, where you started, and what inspired your journey to entrepreneurship?
Quite a very interesting journey that I believe I've had. It's from basically going to UJ, studying film and TV. And then my lecturer actually at that time scared me by giving us the reality of what the industry is like. Basically telling us that after our 4-year degree, we're going to start by making tea somewhere in the background. I was a teenage mother. My son, Jahnel, that's actually his name. At the time, he was back in Limpopo, and I had no time to play. I had no time to waste. I had no time to make tea. So I didn't think the reality of the industry is something that will be fitting for me. So I decided to continue with my studies into postgrad so that I can just spend yet another year figuring it out. From there, I did my communications honors. Then after the honors, during my honors year, I basically had this because I didn't want to call home to ask for basic necessities, because already they're taking care of my child back at home. So I needed to find means. So I basically started right there. I stay in Johannesburg in the CBD. Most of the students are in the Auckland Park side. They don't get to experience the CBD, the harsh CBD. So because I stay there, I saw an opportunity to say, I can sell something. And in all honest, I started selling when I was still young. Like my mother would stock from Marabastad, bring stuff, and we knocked door to door selling. So I knew that selling would put food on the table somehow. So I would stock T-shirts and then basically sell them. I remember one time there was political rally at UJ, and this guy was like, we need T-shirts branded in order for the campaign. And that's how I basically started my business from there. I was like, okay, I know where to get them in the CBD. So I went, Small Street, get the T-shirts 10, for a start. Get them printed, bring them to campus. See, my business has started that way. From there, it's whenever they need anything like that, it's promotional items, it's gifting, it's whatever. I would go get it. My business started like that.
Journey is absolutely amazing, and I really respect the hustle.
Yeah.
And more so, I really love that you had a lecturer that told you this is how it's going to be and you're going to make tea, and you were like, no, I'm not doing that, and you completely went in a different direction and you redirected yourself instead of feeling like you're lost and staying stuck in that place. So I really admire the journey, and it's amazing to see South African women thriving and hustling and doing amazing things, and look at how far you've come. So it's incredibly inspiring.
It is crazy. It is insane. It is really insane.
And something about you as well is that I know we are coming up on World Mental Health Day, and this is the perfect time to have a conversation with someone like yourself who is such a passionate person when it comes to advocating for mental health. Can you talk us through what inspired you to become a mental health advocate? Why does mental health resonate so well with you?
Wow. Thanks for the question. It actually resonates with my journey, basically from, I'll say childhood, from teenage pregnancy, because I got pregnant at 14. So personally, I went through difficulties from that age. But because I had a point to prove, also to myself, to the community, to say I'm not a failure, despite anything that I could be labeled as, I developed a new character where I fought through, you know. So it would mean achieving great results. It would mean like just trying to do everything right. Being a perfectionist of some sort, that is hard on your mental health. That is difficult because you basically tell yourself every day that I cannot fail. And then that noise in your head, that voice in your head that says you can't fail, is the pressure. It's actually really pressure. And I actually realized when I had a mental breakdown, well, not so long ago, basically, because I had achieved everything that I had thought I needed to achieve in order to feel like I'm worthy of being a human being. That means get good grades, get the degree, get the honors, get the job, achieve with the company, get that first car, you know, brand new, everything that I thought I needed to get until the age of 25. I had marked myself until age 25. But from age 25, what? You know, that's when I had a mental breakdown just after that because I felt lost from there. And then with that, I learned to give myself grace. And then that's what mental health actually needs. It needs you to quieten the voice in your head to say, but I'm enough. Despite not having achieved that, I'm still good enough. And then I realized that the pressure I had put myself through was showing in my body. It was basically showing with my neck tension, migraines, lack of sleep. So that's basically me by myself. And whenever I would openly share to someone, I would be surprised that no matter how good that person, I think that person is brilliant, somehow they could relate to say, oh, I actually relate with that. I did put myself through so much, not wanting to fail, but the reality is it's hard.
It absolutely is. And thank you for sharing and being open and vulnerable with us so that we can learn from your journey. So thank you for sharing that. I think your journey being a 25-year-old, I think a lot of young people can relate to because there is this timeline that that society kind of puts you on that, okay, by this age, you're supposed to have this, you're supposed to have done this, you're supposed to have that. And then what?
And then what?
And then it's this unnecessary added pressure on you that is so hard and so difficult to be able to deal with. And that makes it really difficult. And like you said, as a young person, takes a toll on your mental health. So thank you for standing up for mental health and being open and vulnerable to share your own journey and your own story. So as to inspire others to do the same. But let's talk a bit more about your business. Tell us more about some of the services that you offer, and you know what are your clientele like now? I know you've grown from being, selling T-shirts at campus, and you've grown to a big business now. So tell us more about it.
With business, I think I learned COVID. COVID actually taught me the hardest lesson. That you can never say I've made it with business. Because your clients needs the same level of energy you gave them the first time you knocked on their door. The very same passion that you showed them the very first time you came and said, I can provide you this service. They need that consistently. And then with COVID, I'm referencing back to COVID, because COVID led to a standstill in my business, and the reality is in also many other businesses. Businesses faced closure. So was mine, because mine, I had finally began working on a workshop. I had finally promised people salaries and actually had started production. We had big dreams. I remember we were working on PPE, like we were going to be producing protective clothing, you know. We were aiming on competing with big corporates. That's where we were. But then with COVID, it meant there are no clients that you're going to be selling to at that point. Like, businesses are either closing or we are just facing this, it's just insane, right? To just experiencing silence. So I'm referencing to COVID because from there, it felt like I'm beginning my business all over again. Like, it's like now the start. Prior to that, yes, I was at the beginning of production. Like I had this big picture of where we were going. But from COVID stage, it meant start from scratch. You're going to knock on doors again, right? So what happened there was we shifted the thinking from just thinking of this one shop that you are producing from to now thinking I can work from anywhere. I can work from Limpopo because at some point, life forced me to go back home to Limpopo and literally try to figure out, because you can't pay rent, you can't, all that. You had to tell people that you can't pay their salaries anymore because you just can't, right? It taught me that I can work from home. I can work from my friend's house in Durban. I can work from, you see? So from there, it was a matter of working on collaborations. So I believe that's how my business has got to grow, because I can safely now say I have an office in Durban because I do have people in Durban that can work on my stuff. I can safely say I have an office in Limpopo because my mother is down there sewing from scratch from that side. And if clients needs to see you, they can come to your space. I can safely say I work from Pretoria, Sandton, because I definitely have created collaborations from there. And then we're basically, so I feel COVID did us a favor in terms of that, because I found that when I talk to many of my clients, most of them would say, yeah, I work from home. Like, oh, my people work from home. They don't really have to go to the office. And that relieves pressure of rental. It relieves pressure, and it also just really speeds up production.
Absolutely. I think in you sharing your journey with your business, you've also shared so much of wisdom in what other young women can take from your journey, and possibly aspiring entrepreneurs as well. So thank you for sharing that. Precious, this has been such an insightful conversation. You were such a joy to be able to speak to. So thank you for joining us this evening. And I know you have an upcoming competition now on the 1st of November.
I cannot not talk about that.
So good luck, and thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, and we would love to chat to you again in the future. And I wish you all the best with the future endeavors and with your business. We know that in 5 years' time, we're going to be seeing you all across South Africa. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Viewers at home, that was Precious, boss lady turned businesswoman, hustler. I mean, she is all wrapped into one, and she's the epitome of what is possible when you persevere and when you put your mind to something. And remember, she didn't accept the facts. She didn't accept what was told to her, that listen, this is what you're going to do. She said, no, this is what I'm going to do. I'm taking charge, and I'm taking control over my future. So I hope you took away as much inspiration from this conversation as I did as well.